Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone. Please.
न तातो न माता न बन्धु न दाता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न विद्या न वृत्तिर्ममैव गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भैरवी न जानामि दानं न च ध्यानयोगं न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रं न जानामि पूजा न च न्यासयोगं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भैरवी प्रजेशं रमेशं महेशं सुरेशं दिनेशं निशीदेश्वरं वा कदाचित् न जानामि चान्यत् सदाहं शरण्ये गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका
Kalo na janati tava jananam Kalo na janati tava samapadam Drushto maya tava mahakara Yogeshwara Kala Kala Yogeshwara Kala Kala Namaskaram to all of you. Wherever you are, namaskaram to every one of you, but here we are in Arizona. I think it's been a long time since I came to Arizona, and there are more than 100 people. So, wonderful to be here with you. I can't see much of you because you're masked and cloaked and good. Maybe it's more than 6 years since I came to Arizona, correct? Well, as the last 2 days, the news reports are churning out statistics which shows that both in India and United States and Europe and China and South America, the virus is on the rise, second coming. So, United States still leading in these terrible statistics of daily nearly 1,000 people dying, similar number in India, Brazil right behind. Well, this is a test of who we are almost, it's like that. And the second resurgence of virus is because people are just slackening up. How long to maintain social distance? Well, in the yogic culture, people went into sadhana periods of 12 years. You've heard of a solar cycle. 12-year sadhana. The virus is not demanding 12 years from you. It's not yet 12 months either. I think it's very important at this stage that we don't further escalate this upon ourselves. Because if we want to bring back economic and social activity, individuals behaving responsibly becomes most vital. Otherwise, we will not be able to do it. Socially, economically, we'll be crippled if we individual people don't behave in a responsible manner. So, virus continues to dance on. But in India, Navratri has begun. This is the time of festivities, of music, dance, a bit muted, but still happening to some extent. At least in the yoga center, it's going on with full exuberance, but no crowds. Well, we may not be able to get together, but our enthusiasm and exuberance for life need not go down. It's important. So Navaratri is the time which is dedicated for the exuberance of the feminine dimension of our existence. When I say feminine, physical world can only exist between polarities. Day and night, darkness and light. I'm not able to handle very bright lights for various reasons. And masculine and feminine, male and female. Male and female is a manifestation of the qualities, not a quality by itself. Well, today, in many parts of the world, people are getting confused whether they are male or female. Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who not made up your minds yet, because it's become a question of confusion, am I male or female? Because male and female is only a manifestation of the fundamental qualities of masculine and feminine. So when we say masculine and feminine, we are not talking about the gender, we are talking about the basic qualities in the existence, the polarities. It could be sun and moon, it could be day and night, it could be light and darkness, it could be sound and silence. Well, what is what? Which is which? There could be confusions in people's minds. What is sound, what is silence? You will see, if you are intensely focused on something, somebody else around you is chattering away, you will find they're making a lot of noise, you will feel that way. But they think they are speaking in silence. Happens? Happens or no? This happened. A lady went to her doctor, gastroenterologist, and she said, "Doctor, in the last 6 months, I've been having this problem of excess gas and I pass gas. But fortunately, it never smells and it's always silent." The doctor looked at her and wrote a prescription, gave it to her. She saw this and said, "But you have prescribed nasal drops." He said, "Yes, first clear your nostrils, then we'll work on your ears." So, people could be confused about what is masculine and feminine too. When you're confused about what is silence, what is noise, what is light, what is darkness, because different levels of perception. Of course, somebody will be giving a commentary, why early morning Sadhguru is wearing glasses? Because because too much light. You think it's darkness, but too much light. What does it matter, sunlight or strobe lights? Light is light. So this is the time of the feminine. Post-autumnal equinox is the time of the feminine. it matures towards December, where in southern India it is called Margali, where during the month of Margali, even the male members of the society will do those chores which normally done by the females in those societies. Men will come out and do rangole. What do you call that? Most of you know Tamil, I can see. Even, huh? Kolam is very Tamil, rangole, right? So men will go and do rangole, they will do kirtan and walk on the street. This singing and making these geometric designs are normally a woman's forte, they do it well. If people are not conscious about this, if we want to do very angular geometric patterns, you will see always a masculine mind produces them very well. But if you want to do a little rounded geometry, you will see women will do it very effortlessly or the feminine will do more effortlessly. It is wrong to identify masculine and feminine with male and female, though feminine manifests as female, masculine manifests as male, because when you take individual persons, when you take individual people, a male person could be very feminine. This does not mean he's effeminate. He may be very much a man, but feminine in his approach to life. You may be a female, but you may be very masculine in your approach to life. So this part of the year naturally supports the feminine, and the societies have worked to establish the feminine consciously because masculine asserts itself without much encouragement. Feminine needs support to assert itself, otherwise it moves into the background. In any given society, if feminine moves into the background, they will become conquerors. That means their life, they will sit on an empty shell of life. They'll conquer the whole world and they find they have no taste of the world. This is the plight of the masculine. They will reach the top of the world and they feel miserable right on the top. So, bringing feminine consciously into your home, into your culture, into your day-to-day practices is very important. So that is what Navratri is about, 9 days or 9 nights rather. It's all about the different Devis Some of them very gentle and wonderful, some of them are fierce, some of them are terrible, some of them are horrifying. As I've said probably in the previous darshan or somewhere, this is the only culture which worships women who bite your head off. Hello? Married people? Because we didn't want to surrender. One's intelligence, brilliance, genius, other competence, capabilities at the altar of good behavior alone. Because good behavior, you can train your pussycat at home. Even a cat, not a dog will be anyway good behavior. Even a cat you can train for good behavior, at least when you're around. But in the making of a human being, the most important thing is that a human being blossoms into their full potential. Good behavior will give you social access. If you don't have good behavior, society will reject you, but life will not reject you. If you are the only person on this planet, how you're behaving, nobody would be there to tell you what is good behavior, isn't it? Because there are other people, it matters to them. So as a consideration, you behave well. But as a life, it means nothing. As a life, what matters is, this life blossomed into its fullest possibility. So these 9 days are about that, and the 10th day is Vijayadashmi, that means it's the day of victory. That means you blossomed, full on. So the culture created a whole series of processes and rituals and many other devices so that you go through this properly. You will not be conscious that it is Navratri, so they told you to fast. So if you're fasting, you will be very conscious. 1, 2, 3, 4, by the time you come to 9, super conscious, isn't it? Food in the stomach, you forgot what Ratri it is. So, to make you very conscious and also for a certain level of purification in the body, you're supposed to fast. But you're in America. Even if you're leaving the house at 4:30 in the morning, you have to, because they've told you, you must eat something. Otherwise, your protein will go down, your vitamin will go down, your minerals will go down, salts will go down, this will happen, that'll happen, that'll happen, that'll happen, okay? That's not the way life works. Today, a lot of research, recently these research papers have been published, how breath is related to your mental status and your sense of experience of life. Well, we've been saying this for thousands of years, but it's not written in the high school textbook, so it can't be true. Why I'm saying this is, I've been saying this for a long time. I remember particularly, I think this was in… yes, it was in Hyderabad. I was teaching a program way back, I'm talking about 35 or 34 years ago maybe. And I say, see, there are 5 manifestations of prana, which are pranavayu, sambanavayu, apana, udana and vyana. The pranavayu is in charge of both your respiratory action and your thought process. So if you breathe right, naturally your thought process will be in a certain way. Then I have a psychiatrist who's… I am on the couch, but he's in the program. Big argument, how can you say this? What is the basis of this? How can thought and breathing be connected? I said, see, you breathe this way for 3 days and see what will happen to you. He said, no, that is not science. Science means you should have read it in your high school textbook. What is not in the high school textbook cannot be in the universe. One big argument that day. Today, recent studies are saying that the neurons which control and moderate your breathing also control and moderate 3 fundamental aspects of your alertness, your wakefulness and your anxiety. But now it is coming from a university. So, various emotions can be affected by breath. How we breathe can influence our emotions, declared. This is being declared by people who have no experience of such things, all right? They found chemistry, neurons, this, that. Slow breathing activates the vagus nerve, which calms the body. Heart rate slows and becomes regular, blood pressure decreases. Wow! All discovered just now. Just like Columbus discovered America, when millions of people were living here, and Vasco da Gama discovered India, and maybe created all of us. I'm speaking like this not because I have any problem with science, simply because of all those people who just read their high school textbook, think they are scientists, and they've been badgering me for last 35 years, continuously especially in India. So I'm telling all those idiots. So science is coming as piecemeal, little by little, little by little. There is a holistic way, at least when it concerns this, I'm not going to talk about something else, I'm not going to talk about how the bacteria works because that's not my business, that is your business. To put it under the microscope and say what it does not do. What this does is my business, and I know how this works because I've been living in this for some time, you know. Hello? And the respiratory rhythm also controls some of the activity of the brain region involved in attention, wakefulness, anxiety. How we breathe can directly influence the brain. All this sarcasm from me is only directed to those textbook scientists, not the real ones. Those high school textbook scientists, this happened in UK. In London, there was a dinner in the Buckingham Palace. The Queen had invited the top people in the society for some dinner. So one high society lady came and settled down at her chair, which was designated for her. Next to her, she saw a little shabbily dressed man who was simply sitting there quietly with his thick glasses. After some time, you know, she wanted to make conversation. One side was an army officer, she made enough conversation, but he had another young woman on the other side, so he rarely turned this side. So she had to converse with somebody, then she looked at this man is shabbily dressed, it looks like he's a nobody. So she asked, what do you do? He said, I study science. Oh, you study science? I finished that in my high school. So unfortunately, there are too many scientists like this who finished their science in high school and they're passing judgments on everything that we have known for thousands of years from very profound experience of life. Now United States Navy medical team is supposedly using this for the Navy SEALs to stay calm and composed in dangerous combat situations. I will tell you the process, don't do it, okay? So, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, that is one cycle, continue this. There will be no anxiety in a moment of danger in combat situations when people's breathing will go out of control sometimes. Well, we taught you a proper science of how to breathe like this. Shakti Chalana Kriya. Or some of you doing this? No, you learned, but are you doing it, I'm saying? Because some of you think it's a qualification. I did inner engineering, Sadhguru. I'm inner engineering, but are you engineered? That's a question. Please don't do this four count business. It's a simplistic manifestation of what is a kriya. Well, if it's properly done, you can manage the very chemistry of what this is. This is the most sophisticated chemistry or chemical factory on the planet. The question is only, are you a great manager of this factory or are you a lousy manager? That's all there is. Why I'm speaking about this today is, in this pandemic, the virus pandemic going on, now everybody is predicting there is going to be a mental health pandemic. And some people are going about predicting there is going to be a suicide pandemic. They're telling me already the number of suicides in the world have risen. I thought virus was supposed to kill us. Hello? No, we want to go ahead of the virus and do it to ourselves because our mental states are going out of control. Well, there are pressures for every one of us. Well, unfortunately, over 1 million people have lost their lives. Nearly 250,000 in United States. And many people have lost their dear ones. The worst thing is, they're not able to go and attend to those situations. Yes, there are pressures. People have lost their jobs, people have closed down their businesses, people have businesses where there are no customers. Many struggles are there. But still, we did all this because our life was precious, isn't it? We did all these things, we wanted money, we wanted comfort, we wanted this, that, everything, because we thought this is worthwhile. So just because some things don't work, you have no business to take your life, but when you get to extreme states of psychological conditions, then nobody can talk any sense into you. You will start working against yourself. Working against yourself initially functions as causing misery and anxiety and trouble to yourself. Because I'm saying this, a whole lot of people are justifying their anxieties, their depressions and their other things. They don't understand we are doing something wrong with ourselves, whatever that is, whether you're able to figure it right now or not. We're doing something wrong if something is going wrong from within, isn't it? Hello? If from outside you got this virus, it's a different matter. This is an external situation affecting us. From inside, if something is going wrong, should you not have this much sense that we are doing something wrong? Maybe it's not visible, maybe we are not able to figure it out what it is, but we are doing something wrong, that is the first step. Once you see this, then paying attention to variety of things will naturally come. Now, no more an ignorant yogi like me telling you, if you learn to breathe properly, you will be physically, mentally well, not from see how I am? Now it is coming from top universities in the world, people who have PhDs and PhDs and PhDs, they are saying it, so at least now you must start your Shakti Chalana Kriya. That means you're still part of the virus pandemic, but at least you're not part of the mental health pandemic. For sure you should not be part of the suicide pandemic, it should never happen to you. To you and anybody around you, you must ensure such things don't happen. See, all you have to do is breathe right, they're saying. Not me, they're saying. Qualified people. I don't know how anybody got qualifications of life except by living in a profound manner. By studying a book, by looking into your microscope, by analyzing this and that, you don't get qualified for life. Only by a very profound experience of life do you become qualified for life. This all of you can do, nobody to stop you. But we are looking at all the wrong things, we think something else is happening. We think because of the virus we are mentally disturbed. No. We are mentally disturbed. Virus is exposing you. Yes. Economic conditions are exposing you. The losses that we are facing, every one of us, is exposing you. It's not that suddenly you became like that. This may sound very cruel, but I want you to look at this properly. Because suddenly virus cannot cause psychological conditions in you. It needed some manure to flower, it is flowering now, unfortunately. So especially when we face hard times, all the more important that we remain balanced and focused on what matters to us, what really matters to us. I want you to understand the only and only and only thing that you have in your life is this life itself. Everything else is your imagination. Hello? The only real thing that you have is life. If you don't keep this well because something is not working, well, when we say economic conditions, yes, it's hard, not just for you, for everyone, including us. Isha Foundation is struggling because we have committed to various projects. We are committed to educate thousands of children, feed thousands of people, take care of their health, and there are river projects which we are committed to. But in the last few months, the revenue comes to zero. But we are still committed, so running around for the first time in my life, begging for money. So the difficulty is for everybody. The question is only how you handle it, that's all. That's all there is. Everything matters because we're alive, isn't it? Have you seen how dispassionate… because many of you are Indian and you've always been fascinated by this detachment theory. Unfortunately, everybody accuses Krishna of such a thing. Not him, he won't say such things. Have you ever seen a dead body? Hello? You've seen, right? How involved and engaged they were in their little things about life. But then, the person is dead, lies there, completely detached. You bring his favorite food, you show a lot of money, you show him a heap of gold. Hello? Completely detached. You must understand this. This is the time when you're alive, which is not a very long time, believe me, unless you're miserable. This is the time for engagement, involvement. With what? First with this, that you're deeply involved with this life You don't live casually, you live profoundly. When you live profoundly, all the other things are insignificant. If they are there, we will enjoy it. If they are not there, we enjoy their absence also. What's the problem? So, do not mistake one thing for the other. The real thing is life, everything else secondary. Is that so? But if you think wrong things are chasing you, at that moment it looks like it's the end of the world. And that moment could lead to terrible mental anxieties and unfortunately, in some cases, suicide. This happened. Shankaran Pillai was driving and he was not little conscious about the speedometer, so he's like lazily pushed the throttle and he was speeding. So police officer started chasing him. Then Shankaran Pillai drove faster and faster and faster. They went through a big chase. You've seen some of these real-life chases on the television. Like that, he went through all kinds of things and then he hit a pavement and stopped. The police officer came with his gun in his hand and everything. Then he looked at him and he said, what are you doing? What's your crime? Why are you going away like this? I followed you because your tail light, one of the tail lights were not working. I want to just tell you, why did you drive like this? Shankaran Pillai said, oh my God, shouldn't you have told me before? Just a fortnight ago, my wife ran away with a cop. I thought you were chasing me to return my wife to me. I'm saying, don't imagine things. Most of human suffering, unfortunately, is in their memory and in their imagination, isn't it? What happened yesterday, oh, poke yourself with that. A dead yesterday can poke you so hard means you have a serious problem. Very simple problem, but a serious problem because you don't understand how simple it is. And worse, things you're yet to happen, you imagine that this will happen, that will happen and poke yourself with that. That is like this Shankaran Pillai imagining the cop is coming to return something that he doesn't want. Don't do this to yourself. This is the time you must function most sensibly, in a stable, sensible, intelligent manner. All you have to do is hunker down, make yourself into a better human being. Because there's less to do. No society, no party, no something. All you have to do is sit down, meditate, look at yourself, keep yourself physically well, mentally well. Virus will dance for some time. By the time its dance is over, you must be ready for the big dance, isn't it? But if you're already beaten without doing anything, what is the point of that? Because I have nothing to do, I will beat myself. What is this? If you have nothing to do, you must become stronger and better, isn't it? Hello? So, it's extremely important as individual human beings, as societies, as nations, that we must take a vow that we will not allow a mental pandemic to happen to us. Hello? Well, the virus pandemic is happening, that is also in our hands, because statistics say it's 10% of the people who are giving it to 90% of the infected people right now. Those 10%, if we made them behave little more responsibly, there would be no pandemic. Still there is a virus, but it need not be a pandemic. It's a pandemic because this 10% of the people, they have no sense. Are you that 10% I'm looking? Hello? Are you the 10%? No, you should not be. That's a shame that human beings do not know how to function consciously. Let's make this happen, that in your life, for yourself as a person, your family, your friends and people around you, there should be no mental pandemic. Tell them all you have to do is learn to breathe properly within your mask. Please, if there are questions.
Pranam Sadhguru. I heard that one day someone sat for 10 hours in Dhyanalinga without moving, and some people got worried about it. Why would they worry? Can someone attain mahasamadhi sitting in Dhyanalinga?
Oh. Well, in some moments I have said this, but because these videos have gone out, now everybody may know about this. At some moments I have said, if you make this mistake of sitting with me for one moment really, then this is the last cycle of life for you. What this means is, this is not just about me. This is what a guru means, because his energies and his way of being is committed to liberation, not for something else. Other drama you do because you're living in the world. If you don't do some drama of saying, mental health will come, physical health will come, backache will go, this will go, that will go. This is all important for somebody who has a backache. Backache is the most important thing. When you have a backache, if I talk about ultimate liberation, you're not going to listen to me. So we talk about that. It's like if you have a little child, to make him eat, you do all kinds of tricks. Hello? Yes or no? All kinds of tricks. You should see the Indian mothers doing tricks and tricks to make their children eat. So, this is just like that, leave those things. The important thing is to move towards liberation. What is liberation? If I lock you up in that room and declare, see, you're liberated, will it work for you? Hello? No. Only if I let you out, you're liberated, isn't it? Right now, do one thing. Do what you want, shake yourself whichever way you want. Let me see, just spill out of your body, just for 10 seconds and go back. Hello? Can you? What? Are you in the suicide pandemic list? Without damaging the body, just go out and come back. See, freedom means what? I may live in that room, but when I want, I may lock it from inside. But when I want, I can open the door, go out and come back. This is freedom. You're a free person. You're locked in that room, it doesn't matter from inside or outside, but you cannot open it. Is that freedom? Hello? No. So, any physical boundary is like this. Usually, when I first went into the Coimbatore Central Prison, and we wanted to do programs, it was very hard to get in, you don't know. It's not only difficult to get out, it's very difficult to get in. You need a certain qualifications which I didn't have. It took me almost nearly 1.5 to 2 years, meeting the superintendent, meeting this guy, meeting that guy, wanting to go and do something with the prisoners. Well, since then, for the last 22, 23 years, it's happening, the programs. But first time when I went in, I saw in the heart of Coimbatore city most people probably don't realize this. I was invited to a ladies' club, an elite ladies' club, to speak to them. I spoke to them and we organized a little bit of games outside in the open field that was there. Then I look like this, there's a huge wall behind the ladies' club, like almost 18 to 20 feet high wall. I said, what is this wall? Well, none of the ladies knew. I said, there's such a big wall behind your club, and what is this wall? Nobody knew. Then when I inquired, they said, it's a Coimbatore Central Prison. It's in the heart of the city. And then I realized that main street in Coimbatore city is called Jail Road. It's not way to the jail, it goes by the jail. Then I said, I thought, who could be inside? Let's go and see. But it was not that simple. It took me over nearly 2 years, I think, 1.5 to 2 years, to enter the prison. When I went inside, the Coimbatore Central Prison has a history of over 136 years on that day, I'm saying, when I went. And it's a large space, maybe more than 150 acres inside the city. Massive rain trees. I looked at these trees, wow, if I want a tree like this in the ashram, I have to wait 50 years, 100 years. Here it is, massive trees, huge space, everything spick and span, basic of course, but clean, like that. And everything is in order. It's taken me years in the yoga center and in our programs, leave your shoes properly, come on time. Everybody must be there for lunch at 10 o'clock. Why can't I come at 10:05? Can we make… Some people requesting me, putting applications, written applications saying, why can't we make the meal 10:30? If you make it 10:30, they will anyway come at 10:40. 10 o'clock. See, people who are serving the meal, the incredible thing is in the yoga center in India and here also now, in the last 20 whatever number of years, what is it? Some 25, 26 years, every day meal is served exactly at 10 o'clock in the morning and 7 in the evening. Not one day have the kitchen people made anybody wait for 2 minutes. When people who are preparing the meal are doing it on time, the idiots who eat it they must be on time, isn't it? There is a challenge in preparing the meal for so many people every day on time, but they're doing it. But these people are requisitioning me, can we come at 10:40, can we come at 10:45? If you fix whatever time, anyway they will come 5–10 minutes late, that is their problem. But in the prison, bang on, everything, on the dot. Food is on time, doors open on time, doors close on time, lights go off on time. I thought, this is a fantastic place. If you want to do sadhana, it's a great place and these massive trees, particularly the trees, I dreamed under these trees, wow, if I want a tree like this in the ashram, it'll take 100 years to get this tree growing like this. But here in the prison, it's like this. So I'm saying, prison is a wonderful place, but the only problem is you cannot open the door at your will. That's a prison, isn't it? Everything else may be fantastic. Food may be better, it may come on time, things may happen, they're even opening doors for you. But you cannot open the door and go out. That's a prison, isn't it? The premises and the garden is way bigger than your home, I'm sure. But you cannot open the door. So any physical space, however beautiful it is, if you cannot go out at will, that's considered a prison. Right now, shake yourself and get out, let me see. This is also a physical space. So once you become conscious that you're something more than a body, the longing to go beyond that is a natural process. Then you begin to experience the physical body as an imprisonment. So Dhyanalinga is like a living guru, full on. Only thing is, he doesn't eat and walk. We made him like that so that it's easy to maintain him. Otherwise, just feeding such a big guy would be a lot of work. So if somebody sits there 10 hours unmoving, not by intent, they went there only for 15–20 minutes, they thought they will sit, but they sat down, didn't realize time. You do not realize time only when you don't have a sense of body. So you went to sleep, you don't know time, isn't it? 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever number of hours just passed away, like that. Why? Because you're not conscious of your body. Now you're sitting. Sadhguru, you already reached 6:30. Both my legs are saying that. My back is also saying, so it is confirmed, Sadhguru, it's 1 hour is up. If you did not have a body, I could make you sit here for 10,000 years. What's the problem? Hello? Isn't it? So if somebody is sitting for 10 hours unmoving, obviously no sense of body. Once somebody has become that loose inside, he may find the door. It'll be wonderful for him, but not good for me. Hello? So my soldiers go to disturb his meditation and his spiritual process. Yes because if somebody lives in today's world, oh, already I have faced too much of that. So we have soldiers to make sure you're not liberated. Not in our space, you go home and do it. Because we are living in a society where there is no regard or respect for profound dimensions of life. It's all about eating and living in those silly prescribed ways. People think, somebody decided not to marry, They think that's very unnatural. See, I'm asking you, do you believe whatever creation made you, do you believe it made you as a complete life, this one? Hello? It's a complete life? Or is it a half a life? I'm asking you. Complete life. So out of… it's reached a certain level of exuberance and joy, and you want to share it with somebody, and of course we need next generation of people, so you married, fantastic. But you're a desperate creature. You think without another person you cannot live. You're a parasite. Hello? So if you don't do this parasite stuff, people think you're unnatural. I think for a full-fledged, evolved being like a human being, who is the highest point of evolution on this planet, being a parasite is unnatural, isn't it? Out of your joy, two people came together, you understand your responsibilities. You also understand, though it's a lot of trouble, that you must raise one or two children, because otherwise there'll be no people in the next generation. Hello? Right now we can slow it down, it's too many people. But I'm saying, it is not out of compulsion that one should come together. Out of responsibility, one can come together, isn't it? So like this, everybody is going on declaring everything unnatural, so that all subtler aspects of life will disappear. So, this man who sits in the Dhyanalinga, I was not there on that day, I came to know about it, they called me wherever I was. And then I said, okay, go disturb him. What a terrible thing to do. All your life you work with people because you want them to attain. But if they attain in your premises, it's too much trouble, so you go and disturb them. This is the plight of a 21st century guru. Don't choose this profession, it's So. Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Mahadevaya. For many of you who are in different parts of the world, we are here in Sedona, a very aesthetically beautiful place with grand mountains all around, many other claims. A wonderful place that everybody should see, wherever you are.
Only when the feminine is on, there is a civilization.
Goddess worship or the feminine worship has always been the most fundamental form of worship everywhere in the world.
What is being referred to as pagan, all of them were mother worshippers.
People who were involved in goddess worship had mastery over occult sciences. India is one culture which has still retained. Every village always has a Devi temple. And this is a culture where you were given the freedom to create your own goddess.
All kinds of weird images, Rakini, Dakini, Chinnamasti, Kali.
See, if we can consecrate
a stone to become a goddess. If a human being is truly willing, why can't we consecrate a human body to become a goddess? You very much can.